Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I am excited to share with you my recent haul from Lisa Eldridge. I was so excited when I saw on Instagram that Lisa was launching a new formula. I, of course, was like, my ears perked up just like this. Now, I will be honest, when I saw that it was going to be a matte liquid lip color, that really isn't normally my wheelhouse, but I do trust Lisa and her formulas. I really have enjoyed what she's launched so far. So when she said it was going to be a comfortable lip color, I was like, all right, I have to give this a go. So I did decide to pick up 2 of the shades. I will tell you why I picked what I picked, and of course we'll be doing some lip swatches. But if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. We're gonna dive right in. I do have 2 of the colors. I'll be doing lip swatches and a wear test for you. I'm gonna be heading into the salon for a little bit later today, and Jeremy and I are going to a movie tonight. So we will have a good amount of like real life wear time with these shades. So as I'd mentioned, I did pick up 2 shades. By the way, while I was doing it, I just want to let you know, I did decide to pick up another lip pencil. The Enhance and Define lip pencil is my favorite. And I love the True Velvet lip color in Rain so much, Velvet Rain, that I was like, I do want to get the coordinating lip pencil. So I decided to get that while I was on the site. So as I'd said, I was a little bit disappointed to see that it was another matte formula that Lisa was coming out with, but I have to be honest, I'm not all that surprised. Lisa said that this has actually been in the works for a while now. I think she said even like a year. I did watch her video on it, by the way, when she did her little launch video, but she had mentioned that she's been working on these, and I was like, you know, I'm not that surprised because liquid lip color has made a comeback. For those of us that have been around and we had the first round of them, I will be honest, I was never a fan. I like, at least not the matte ones. I like the ones that are more of like a satin. In all honesty, I really did enjoy the ColourPop satin lipstick because I like the accuracy that you can get with a liquid lip, but that like shrinky dink feel I'm just not a fan of. And Lisa says we're not going to get that with these, so we will see in just a moment. But I do think that, I mean, of course, when Lisa does her swatches and you're just looking at her beautiful face wearing all of these shades and she looks stunning in every single one of them, I wanted to grab so many of them. But I did decide to just stick with colors that I don't already have in the True Velvet formula. So I did pick up the Velveteen liquid lip color in Blush, because I have Blush Lightly, but I don't have Blush. And then I also did get Dragon. So that's going to be the 2 that we are trying on today. I will be honest, I was very tempted to get Jazz as well because I thought it would be very beautiful worn as a like just stain. And I mean, even when Lisa had it on in like full saturation and just had that like femme fatale vibe going on, I was like, wow, I want that. But I figured 2 was a great way to start, and I can see how I feel about the formula. Of course, I'll be giving you all of my thoughts after initial try-on, and then of course after the wear test as well. Now, aside from the fact that I picked shades that I don't currently have in the True Velvet formula, I also wanted to pick shades that I think a liquid formula and like a non-feathering formula would really benefit from. So for instance, like as much as I love the Muse shade, that is definitely one of my favorites, I was like, I don't feel like I need this formula in it. I like a comfortable tube of lipstick, but some shades that just tend to like either, you know, feather out or that are just like not as great to like get on cups and things like that. I just think that this will be beautiful to have. So I hope that made sense. That's why I chose the 2 that I did. Did you pick any up, by the way? I would love to know. So that's enough rambling for me. Let's go ahead and get these lip swatches on. I'm gonna go ahead and do blush first. I think what I'll do is let me just go ahead and do some swatches on the back of my hand just so that you can see these. Now I did go ahead and just put on a little bit of lip balm, like a waxier lip balm, onto my lips just to prep them. I didn't do anything super special. I didn't like do a crazy exfoliation routine or like anything other than, you know, I did go to sleep wearing my lip mask last night, but you know, nothing too crazy here. Now, like Lisa did in her video, I was thinking that I would do a very like blurred out, not like K-Beauty blurred lip, but like just a very soft wash of each shade and then build it up to full opacity just so you can see the option. All right, so let's take a peek at these swatches. We have Blush on the top and then Dragon on the bottom. Again, these are 2 that I didn't have in my collection, and I'm really excited to pop them on. So these are both colors that I've looked at adding into my collection at some point. I do think it's gonna be nice to have them in a very stay put formula. I'm very excited to try them on. I do think Today is not the best day to show like lip swatches, but it's just going to be like a reality situation here. I do naturally have somewhat wrinkly lips, and right now my lips are very, very dry towards the center. So we're just going to see the reality of what that would look like. So we're just going to dive into this. I'm going to zoom you in and we will get blush put on. So like I said, I didn't do any crazy prep to pop these on. I do have a bit of dryness here. I probably could have done more, but you know what? Let's face it, we aren't always like the night before, like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna wear this matte lip color. I'm gonna do something about my lips. Sometimes it's like, oops, my lips are kind of dry. So that's what we're working with here. I am gonna just first pat on a little bit of this color. Oh, it feels very, very thin and very, very silky. Again, I do have a bit of balm on, but I wiped off most of the excess of that. And I'm just gonna rub this in just to create a soft effect. I could pull out a lip brush if I really wanted to, but right now I don't really feel like it. Today has been Swatch Fest, by the way. I just got done with a few hours of swatching my Sydney Grace collection for the sale, so that is either up before this or after this. So if you are interested in some beautiful indie single shadows, make sure that you're subscribed. But it has been Swatch City, so it's nice going from swatching on my arm to swatching on my face, I guess. Huh. I have to say, I mean, I've only had this on for, you know, 30 seconds, but it's pretty dang comfortable. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so you can see here, it just gives this beautiful, it's almost like a berried plum, or a plumbed berry. I don't know. It's like got a little bit more coolness to it, like a rose and a berry and a plum had a baby. This is very pretty. I mean, let's see transfer. I mean, just like the tiniest bit towards like the center of my lip, which is probably where it's a little bit damp and even maybe where I have some more of that balm. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get you just a little bit closer. Oh, like the tiniest smidge. I don't even know if that was worth it, but I mean, it's really soft focus. It's very, very pretty. It feels like nothing on my lips right now. It doesn't feel hydrating, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't feel like it's drying either. Wow, okay. All right, so far so good. There we have the soft focus version of the Velveteen liquid lip color in blush. All right, now we're gonna load this on to full opacity, and full capacity, as much as my lips can take. Okay. Let's go ahead. Now, Lisa was talking about the applicator. So you can see here, it's just a really nice flocked tip. It does seem to have enough accuracy that you can really get in and create a beautiful shape, which is one thing, especially on my top lip, I do like to define my lip line a little bit more and make my Cupid's bow more prominent, which I think is something that you're going to be able to do with this. I also think the nice thing about a formula like this is that you don't necessarily need to have a lip pencil because you can get more accurate with this. So for me, this means I can just have one product in my purse and still get a really crisp lip. So I'm gonna do 1/2 and then you can kind of see side by side. Okay, so there you can actually really see the difference. Like this is obviously gotten much darker, but I was also able to get like a much more crisp lip line. Just a tip, if you are maybe new to wearing a liquid lip, I would say you don't want to first go in when your doe foot is like really loaded with product to go out to your lip line, because you might have like almost too much product on the tip of that and it could like push out a little bit more. So just lay a little bit down further on your lip and then go out to the edge. All right, here it is up to full opacity. Still a beautiful shade, but you can definitely see how it like deepened down into that like plummy berry. This is very beautiful. So far so good. I have to say, I think I actually prefer, I like both. Like this is like sexy vampy. I think for an everyday, I like the wash a little bit more. I just think it's like a little bit more youthful. It also probably helps that it's like summer right now and this isn't quite like summer vibes, but I do really like this. It's been on my, lips for like a minute now, I would say. No transfer. I don't think this is gonna like fully dry down, but I'm okay with that because I've had a couple formulas before that have been like almost like chalk paint on your lips. You know what I'm talking about? And it's like almost like raspy, you know, like if you went like this, it'd be like, so I'm not getting that vibe from this. I am going to use a bit of a cleansing balm to get this off. That was one thing that Lisa said is, you know, obviously you're gonna want something that has an oil base to remove it. Right away, when I took my hand swatches off, I did just use some Bioderma and it took it off with no problem, but that was like instantly. I had those swatches on my hand for like, what, like 90 seconds? So I have a feeling now that I've had this on for a while, I'm gonna wanna like work this off with something that has a bit more of an oil to break it down. All right, I'm back after a little balm session. It came off really pretty easily. I did have to, like, for this situation, so I didn't look like I just drank a bunch of like dark Kool-Aid, I did have to be very careful as I was wiping it because it just broke it down. I used the Clinique Take Away the Day, which actually isn't my favorite balm, but it worked just fine, and then just reapplied a little bit of lip balm. So now we're gonna go through with Dragon. I'm so excited to see this one. It is this, you know, beautiful, like, sunny brownie red, and I am here for it. I think this is gonna be a great one for summer. I just added a little bit more of that Dragon shade to the outside. I know I'm going for like more of a stain, but Beauty seemed to have like made my lips a bit more like colorful than they are, so I feel like I need a little bit more just to cover that up. So normally I don't think that I'd need to use quite as much. This is beautiful. It's like a wearable tomato red, you know what I mean? Because it's got enough brown to it that if it's something that you sort of want to try but you don't want it to be like electric, you can really like get that vibe from this. And of course I do find that this type of color also brings out my eyes, so very much a fan. Okay, I am definitely a fan of this color. I do have to say, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here, but I had a few like little like dry skin pieces on my lip, and I can definitely like pick those up more with this. But that being said, I did just put on a liquid lipstick, take it off, put on another one, right? So, you know, we have to keep that in mind. Oh, I did want to make mention, by the way, like all of Lisa's lipsticks, these are not scented. They're, I mean, not that I've eaten it, but it doesn't, it's not like flavored in any way. I, right now, am experiencing a slight bit of stinging. I have a feeling that's just because I wiped it off and put one back on, because the initial one that I put on, I didn't have a problem with it at all. It's just my lips are obviously taking a little bit of a beating, but this is gorgeous. But again, if you have drier lips or you have a little bit of like chapping, you're going to see that. Let me just see here. Just a very slight bit of transfer, but almost nothing. A little bit of tack to it, but not stickiness. You know, it just means that there's a bit of moisture there, which I am a-okay with. I think that this is lovely. I don't necessarily think that this is better or worse than the True Velvet formula. I think if you prefer a liquid lipstick, and I know in my recent Velvet Bloom swatch video, a couple people are like, oh, I kind of like a liquid lipstick, and this way you can have that. So I just wanted to make note of that. But that being said, considering how dry and like rough my lips are right now, it doesn't look crazy. We will see if it ends up looking crazy. I just wanted to zoom you out so you could see like a full face look when I'm not just like all up in your grill, or you're not all up in mine. Somebody is up in someone's grill. Anyway, I love this. I think it looks great. I think my teeth look white. I didn't even do the teeth check with the other one. This is great. What I did want to do though is I'm going to swatch. I don't have either of these shades in the True Velvet formula, but I'm going to swatch side by side the Velveteen Blush next to the True Velvet Blush Lightly, just so we can kind of see the finish difference. I want to see like, is this one more matte or is it just more of like a soft effect? I want to see that. And then I'm going to give you my thoughts so far. Right. So these have been on my hand for probably like 2 minutes now. This is True Velvet Blush Lightly, and then this is the Velveteen Liquid Lip Color in Blush. So of course, if you saw when Lisa released Blush Lightly, she said that there was a request to have like the undertones of Blush Lightly, but in something lighter for people that didn't want to wear something that dark. So I personally think, and maybe you'll be able to see it here. Let me just turn this down just a little bit. So if you can see, I do think compared to the Velveteen, the True Velvet does have, I mean, just a hint more sheen to it. It's still matte, but it's more of like that matte that's gonna come from a cream, right? As opposed to like a liquid. I also do think, I haven't tried this yet, but this is going to obviously be able to blend out quite a bit still, whereas this, oh yeah, definitely not quite as much. Wow, if you guys heard that. So you're definitely going to have a more long wear, less transferability from, that was really poor English, but this one is gonna wear longer and transfer less than the True Velvet. That being said, on me, I don't find that like the True Velvets are transferring all over the place. They also stay on the lips a very long time, and I even find that they do stain a smidge, so that even once that initial top layer has worn off, I still have a bit of color underneath. Like, I can definitely get through from the start of application at the beginning of the day through lunch and feel like until after I've eaten something that like the lip color looks great. So I would have a feeling this is going to be the same, if not even more so. I do feel like this is showing the dryness just a bit more, because this obviously has a bit more creaminess to it. So that is going to be one thing. That is something that I knew. Again, I'm going into this today with fairly dry lips. So, you know, it's sort of like, hey, this would be like the worst situation in which I would ever put on a matte liquid lip. And if it can look pretty darn good now, I think it would do really well when they aren't quite so dehydrated. Okay, so some first impressions. I do have to say, for a matte liquid lip, this is very, very comfortable. I do think it looks good. Like I said, if this is going to be the worst that my lips are and it still looks this good, I'm excited to wear it when, you know, they're not quite so like crispy. So I am very happy with the choices that I made. I think it makes a lot of sense for what I have in my collection, but if you are someone where you just love the application of a liquid lip, you like a really thin feel on the lips, I would highly recommend this so far with just this first impression. I think for me, I am gonna stick with what I have. I do sort of wish, and I get it, like I was talking to a friend and it's like Lisa has done such a good job curating these colors, and like there is a very wide range between, you know, the luxuriously lucent, between the insanely saturated and the True Velvet. So when I first saw these come out and that they were coming out in the velvet shades, I was a bit disappointed. I was like, oh, could you have just done like maybe 4 of the bestsellers in the velvet shades and then like a couple new ones? But it's also like she's done such a good job with the undertones and curating colors that really look good on just about everybody. At some point, you're gonna stray from your own aesthetic. You're gonna stray from what is really like your wheelhouse. And so I kind of understand why she didn't, but really I did sort of want to see a couple new shades in this new formula. But that's just me. So like I said, if there's shades that you're thinking that you want to get, I would highly recommend it if you do enjoy a matte formula. For a matte lipstick, this is probably the most comfortable that I have tried. That being said, I don't really have any of the more recent formulas to compare to. So like I'm thinking of like the Kaleidos lip clays, something like that. I can't really say what it would compare to. So that's just not in my wheelhouse, but I did trust Lisa and I'm glad that I did. I really do think I picked out the 2 for me right now that do make sense. I'm happy with what I got. I'm not going to be getting any more for right now. I also do have to say, I think that they are very fairly priced. $27. You do get 3 milliliters. I did want to check the pricing. So the True Velvets are $36, but you do get 3.5 grams in these. So you do get a little bit more. I do think it also sort of depends on how you're going to wear these products. You know, do you wear a lipstick like fresh out of the bullet, like on like full saturation, or do you tend to like dab it on for something, you know, that's a bit more sheer? Same with these. If you're thinking about using these almost more like a stain, you're going to get a lot of uses out of this because these are very pigmented, and so I don't think you're going to need a lot on the lips. I mean, you saw when I did the blush shade that it's like I didn't really need a lot to get like a beautiful stained look out of that. So I think for $27, that's really a fair price. And again, like I said, I mean, I've had this on for a bit now. It's feeling pretty comfortable. So I will be able to wear this throughout my day at work into the evening. And then Jeremy and I, after I get done with work, are going to a movie. However, it's at 9 p.m. and it's 3 hours long. We're going to go see Oppenheimer. So I have a feeling that at 12:30, 1 o'clock when I get home, I'm not going to want to sit down and chat with y'all about lipstick. So what I am going to do though is I promise I will take a picture and maybe notate here how I felt about the wear times. Hi, halfway through editing and I ran out to get a coffee and the Sydney Grace sale for the day is starting in 9 minutes and I realized I'm not going to make it home. I need to just sit in my car and then shop the sale and then go home. So I thought I would kill some time by giving you my thoughts on this lipstick. So what I will say is it is a beautiful lipstick formula. It was very thin. Like I said, it looked beautiful on the lips. However, it is not a long wear liquid lipstick. So if you will see in the picture here, this was just, you know, right before lunch. So it had been on for maybe like 4 hours at that point. And I had had copious amounts of coffee, maybe a bathtub's worth of coffee, but I hadn't really eaten anything. So, you know, there wasn't really a reason for it to have worn off that much. It's light transfer. I mean, I really didn't get a lot of transfer from it, but it definitely just wore. So I also found that, you know, obviously, as I'd mentioned, an oil-based remover is going to be what helps with this. And so since my lunch had vinaigrette on it, which has oil, my lipstick was annihilated after lunch. So I think that you should pick up this lipstick if you love Lisa's shade range and you were looking for something that is a very thin formula, if you love the precise application that you can get out of a liquid lip, but not if you're looking for something that is necessarily longer wearing than the True Velvet formula, because I didn't find it to do that. So I did just want to say, if you love Lisa's colors, if you prefer a liquid lipstick format, go ahead and pick one of these up. But if you're looking for that long wear, you're just not going to get it out of this product. So speaking of thoughts, let me know yours down below. Did you pick some of these up? Is there a color that you're itching to get? I would really love to know. I love all of the makeup conversations that we have, and I do appreciate you taking some time out of your day to spend it with me. That is going to be it for now, lovelies. I will see you really soon.